Hello and welcome to the 25th episode of the Talking Wednesday podcast. The 25th
Congratulations,
episode.
James.
Well, congratulations, Jake. You know, one day I just said, you know what? I'm turning this into a podcast.
Yeah.
Literally 20 minutes before we went on air, I'd written a show.
Yep.
We were going on with the Dexterity Watch post show. And I said, hey, Jake, I'm making this a podcast. And you were like, okay. and then this happened. And then you were like, what are these notes? And we just went for it the first time. And then, yeah, it was fun. But yeah, 25. Thank you very much. I just want to say
for watching.
At the top of this, it's like, obviously it's still our small corner of the internet.
Yep.
Our small corner got a teeny tiny little bit bigger. It's nowhere near being any sort of like size, but you know, like we've got a lot of voices, Wednesday voices in our community now. And I just want to say, if you've ever interacted with the content so far, if you've ever reached out, I've had graphic designers going, yeah, I'm a graphic designer and I'm just a fan of the podcast. This happened like 3 times as well.
Yeah.
And they've just sent me art if I wanted to use it for the channel and stuff. And it's just been like, the interactions with some of you guys has been brilliant. So this is what we wanted. This was a news community podcast, you know. So thank you for being part of that.
The nice thing is how many international fans I talk to now who have found this all of a sudden and have gone. Yeah. The weirdest thing is that it's weird listening to a podcast or a YouTube channel where you're not just slating the club all the time. You're actually just seeing it as 2 different views.
Well, I don't like
slating the club because at the end of the day we don't know what's going on a lot of time. We can only speculate.
I think we're very we try and give the impartial view and and then we have a lot of Wednesday bias in there as well.
Yep.
We try not to I don't see the need to fly off the handle for engagement or try and be
unless I make a mistake.
Like that. Unless you make a mistake. I will say though, since doing the podcast, right? I've found grey hairs.
Oh, I've been getting grey hairs for years.
For the first time in my life. So when I go to work, I have to tie my hair up because there's a lot of it. I mean, taking the bobble out. As I take the bobble out, I'm like, obviously you do lose a bit of hair. You know, I'm really careful with bobbles because there's always the paranoia that you're going to lose it. I'm doing all right for my age, to be fair, with my hairline. I think my hairline's fairly all right. So, the Jesus. So, like... When I take the bobble out, I'm like, oh, there's a couple of hairs. And there's like grey, full, like long grey hairs. Because my hair, obviously, my hair goes from the back.
Yeah.
So they're the ones that have been sat there for a while. And I'm like, oh dear, I'm at that age now. The grey's coming. The grey is coming.
It's called just getting old and just dealing with new stressors.
I think it's putting up with you for 6 months.
Wait until you get a kid.
Oh, no, God. No, all right, let's not. You know, I just the convenient thing is obviously I've got grey hairs, punk, and now you've been in my life for 25 episodes of this Talking Wednesday podcast. So you know, is it me trying to get you to pronounce names? Is it me dealing with the same comments, going, why are you talking about this? Talk about this. Talk about is it this? No, I think it's just the passage of time. But all jokes aside, thank you very much. I wonder where I've put myself today.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know where you put yourself today. I think we should have something in the comment section. Nothing rude. Where should James go?
Yeah, I will say I have put, for the audio listeners, obviously, we do talk about this like it's a video thing, but it is a big audio thing as well. So, I have the green screen up again. I think it's probably going to be a thing for a little while. But should we toast a drink to the 25th episode? Because I've never done anything this consistent, really, apart from like my first ever Wednesday career. And now I've got rum or amaretto.
Oh, rum.
Rum?
Yeah. I've gone with a 12...
God, that's empty.
I've gone with a 12-year malt whiskey.
Lovely. That's what I would drink. I would bring us a nice little single malt if we ever did one of these in person, which we will probably do sometime.
Soon, once we're allowed and everything.
Well, we are technically allowed now, mate.
True.
But I'm really busy.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. Let's make that a...
You decided to go into adulthood full force. You say, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it properly.
Yeah, well, I've been thinking about houses and mortgages and moving and all that sort of thing for a little while. So I decided to work really hard, which means a lot more work, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, but
Chin
I
chin.
want to move on. So to 25 episodes, our Talking Wednesday community.
He hasn't killed me yet.
We've put up with each other this long. To be honest, though, mate, it's a laugh. We get to talk every week, and the great thing is we do communicate on Facebook. But this is like us catching up for the week and catching up. I
actually said to my missus the other day, I think you're the most consistent person I speak to these days in my life. Apart from my missus.
You said that to the woman you live with.
Her reply was, "That's about right, actually."
Well, it's what I like is that like we don't. I give you grief if you put videos out on the same day, but other than that, like it's always about like, oh, we talk about Wednesday in our own time. We also talk about life and stuff like that.
Can I just say something here? Well, Sheffield Wednesday, can you not release everything all on a Saturday? That was a royal pain in the backside.
Yeah. What I will say is we are recording this a bit of a pull behind the curtain.
Yeah.
We're recording this midweek this week because Jake's not free later in the week.
Nope.
I was free on Friday, and now I'm not free on Friday. Neither of us are free on Saturday. No. I'm going to do some radio stuff with over. Well, I was going to a radio station, but because they've removed the restrictions again, we're doing a Zoom in.
All right.
But it means that I'm going to be busy with that, and then we've got still promoting that EP. Just
it's very good. I've got to admit, I've had it on a couple of times.
I got to admit, you thought it was going to be absolutely dreadful.
To be fair, I normally go with music, really, especially people I know. I don't want to go over like it's amazing and stuff. I want to listen to it a couple of times.
Oh, yeah, it's not amazing. It's literally it's produced in this room.
No, but you know what I mean.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but for being produced in that room for what it is, it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well. I didn't go to uni for nothing, but it still doesn't mean I'm amazing at it. But like, yeah, we did. I did
paycheck every month.
They did teach me how to. Well, they didn't actually. I taught myself how to make music,
so you
and paid them, and I paid them $9,000 a year for the privilege. Yeah. So, yeah, just for a little nice piece of paper. My masters was much better. That was much more fun. That was much more. Actually, no. I can't say that because I loved my undergrad and I love the experience on it. But some courses I was like, what am I doing here on this module? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it did help because I picked up media courses. I picked up all of that. And I've got a dodgy green screen behind me so you can see that went well. I know it's creased and it's not lit well. So that's why I know it's an awful green screen, but I kind of like the charm of an awful green. This is a Wednesday podcast.
Yeah.
We'll get into that a bit. The first 10 could be the longer these episodes go on. By episode 50, the first half hour is going to be us waffling.
Yeah,
and I'll have to bring the timestamps back, and you'll have to click through. But yeah, there's not because we're midweek. There's not a load of news. There's probably going to be more news, but I'm glad the news that has come in about Wednesday is relevant. The one thing I'm quite annoyed at is this is going to go up literally the morning after the Sweden-England Ukraine-England game. So we don't know if England are still in the tournament or not, but we're coming back off the back of us just beating Germany.
Yep.
Which is
insane.
It
still hasn't sunk in. When that second goal went in, I was a bit like, oh, are we actually going to do this then? Because it took me a while for my brain to just.
Well, even when the second goal went in, I was like, right.
How are we going
to? We got 4. Now we're like, we got 4 minutes to defend this, so we can afford to concede one now. That was literally my thought process because I was like, I wasn't comfortable with it at all. Because that's the thing about being an England fan. We're like, well, when is this going to burst?
That works.
That's true.
To be fair, the only thing I really wanted to happen at the end was us to win and Declan Rice and Mullin to swap shirts. I thought that would have been hilarious.
I will say I don't think Declan Rice was amazing that game.
No.
I thought he gave the ball away a little bit too much. I think he's been a very solid player. He's the Joey Pelopessi of the England squad. But like he wasn't at his best that game, but we came through it. I thought Kieran Trippier wasn't great. Pickford wasn't immense. I didn't think Trippier was very good that match. I do think, like I was saying on Twitter, Sterling he is proving that club form does not represent country all the time, and he is. I can't say anything. You know, I was probably a bit harsh on him because of his club form, but I've also got to bring into account, like, he's still had something like 14 goal involvements this season. So it's not like he was crap. He's just usually set. That's what you get when you set high standards for yourself. If you don't constantly perform at that, you see that. So yeah, he's found himself in the right positions, and he's got the goals. And I was really happy to see Kane score. You know, that's going to be the
celebration said it all for me.
Yeah,
it shows you that he'd been frustrated to hell that he hasn't been able to score. So we're going into this Ukraine. We've got to beat.
Yeah, please ignore the obviously retrospective thing. We could be. I'm telling you now, if we've crashed out of this, we won't be talking to anybody today.
No, it's doable. Yeah. It's doable, but also remember, look at how much fight that Ukraine side had. I know it was 10-man Sweden, but they went for it. And that's something we have to be careful. And I'm right in saying we're the only team that got a clean sheet in the tournament?
Yeah, we've not conceded.
No. So
yeah,
it shows you defensively we're solid. And
well, that's the thing. They say defenses win tournaments. Yeah. That's the thing with Kane as well, right? People were saying, oh, he needs to be dropped. He's not finding. You keep your world-class players in because Kane is a world-class striker. Yeah. Because you could, you say you play Calvert-Lewin, right? He can get those chances and he can get in those positions, but he's not got the world-class ability of Harry Kane to always score them, right? And Harry Kane doesn't always score. He does miss.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, Harry Kane puts it in the back of the net. So that's why...
He's a game changer.
He didn't have too many opportunities against Germany and he put one away. That's what I'm saying. The world-class players, they don't need much to get goals.
And
the world-class strikers.
You must be really happy that Grealish was the one for that assist. If your audio, Dex is literally just smiling to himself.
Just saying it all along. Like, I hated him when he won the championship because he was clearly too good for it and he danced around like whatever, right?
I'm not a fan of him at club level. I find him a bit annoying when I watch him for Villa, but when he's got an England shirt, he's exciting.
Well, we're going to say that, though, because he is good for Villa. He does win fouls, and he wins them fairly. He doesn't actually dive as much as people say he does, right? Because he's actually just so bloody good on the ball. Like, he knows he's going to win a foul, but it's still a foul. It doesn't make it any less of a foul.
I just love the fact that when that cross went in, as the goal went in, he was still on the floor rolling up, and you could tell he knew it went in because he just heard the crowd, and he was like, "Oh, great!"
I did watch his pre-match interview, and he was talking to TalkSport, I think, actually, and they were interviewing him, and he didn't know what an encyclopedia was. And I was like, "Come on, mate!
Then again,
you're not helping the footballer image here."
Then again, Saka was only born like 4 days before.
Jack Grealish is older than me. Let me just double check that. Hang on. Hang on.
Has he made a boo-boo?
No, he's not older than me. We were born in the same year, though. He's literally like 4 months younger than me. 4 or 5 months younger than me. And he's just got assists for England, and I'm here talking about it, right? But yeah, but that's the thing. Like, you know, I'm 6'4". I should have been a goalkeeper. I should have carried on. I should have carried on as a child. If I knew I was going to be this tall, I'd have carried on and not got into the arts.
We are short of goalkeeper. Do you want to rock up? You want to get in your car and go to Wales?
Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, the extra lockdown timber, I can stand on one side of the goal and fill it. So I can act as 2 keepers. It'll be wonderful. I think it's great for I think it'll have all fallen apart if we've lost against Ukraine. I think Zinchenko's not been great in the group stages, but I reckon he could do something as we saw against Sweden.
Cross and first goal. That first
I was
goal
looking
was really
out.
good.
I was looking out for him in his threat in the group, but he didn't really impress me in the group. But against Sweden, you know, he turned it on, and he could turn it on against England. And I am worried about that. But
it's very weird having a tournament with so many.
There's no way I'm going to get tickets for the final, is there?
Nah.
I really want them. I will say now, right? If we're watching this, and if you're watching this and we have beat Ukraine and we're in the semis, please, if you enjoy this podcast and you've got a way of hooking me up with final ticket, I am going to use the podcast platform now just because I never get the opportunity again, right? DM me because I would love to be at Wembley for that final more than most things. And the people that are I'm not mega rich. I wouldn't be able to outspend things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we are your typical lads in a certain way.
Yep.
Like I'm me and Jake are both paycheck to paycheck sort of lads. We're not the ones that can go and spend like £600 on eBay.
Nope.
So if you could help a brother out, I'm to the low point of begging, right? But no, it would be amazing. Either way, I'm going to be, if I'm not there, I'm going to have to be somewhere. I don't know if I'm going to go to a pub. Like, part of me was like, if I can't go, I go to a pub and have that atmosphere. But part of me is also like, I kind of want to be with family.
Yeah. I'm probably going to, if I can't get together, I'm probably going to be with family for it all. Close mates and family. If we're talking about this, and in my head, I'm like, don't jump ahead. We're not there yet. But
feel free to skip over this topic now if we're out.
But at the same time, there's a possibility, and a lot of the big boys are now gone. Because it's
France out, like
Germany
France out,
Holland
Portugal
out.
The whole group of death have gone. The group of death was so deadly they're all dead, right? So, literally, like. I will say something because I feel I have to. Please don't bully a child.
Yes.
I understand why if you saw a kid cry, you thought, oh, they don't understand they're losing. You had a bit of a giggle occasionally. I could see how somebody would find that a bit funny and the original joke. The stuff I've seen on Twitter is a bit disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. I keep talking about how we lose our class as a country, right? Booing national anthems, doing all that sort of thing. We've kind of lost the line between class and being able to enjoy things. And I saw a tweet that was perfectly summing it up. Like, people don't seem to understand anymore that to be proud of your country, you don't have to hate the other ones. Right?
You can have a bit of respect.
You can have pride without hate.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't get why. I understand like why the cameramans, people are going to fight. You probably, if you're in a pub and you saw the kid cry and you didn't really think about it, you go, way, sort of thing, you know, and you get on with it. It's the people calling a 10-year-old child names.
Yeah.
And the nicest of the names was like, you know, calling her a Nazi because she was German. Right. And there was other things that were after that, which made me actually want to physically hurt people, you know, like hurt people that would say that about a child. Like,
I think what a lot of people forget, especially when it's the internet, is that there are still feelings behind whoever that child is. Even if they can't understand it in German, somebody may translate it in English, and if a parent reads that, it's going to be horrible.
I'm just going to say with the kids, it's not even that, it's with the kids, right? It's the fact that kids at that age, that's passion, that's emotion. They don't understand. They people are like, oh, well, why is it she's such a sore loser? Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, right, she's a kid and she was hyped for it, and kids cry at these things. And I honestly, if you're a grown man, a fully grown adult, bullying a child on the internet, seriously, like,
look in the mirror.
Sort yourself out. Yeah. Sort yourself out. I just felt like I had to say something there because I follow, like, some people on Twitter were making the jokes of like, it was really funny to see pubs erupt and stuff. And people I actually quite like from like the YouTube scene. Yeah. I find some of their stuff funny. But what they weren't looking at around them was the fact that was being used by people to be disgusting and take it further. And they weren't really commenting on that soon enough for my liking, to be honest. Because there's lines between a joke and that, and you get called a bit soft if you ever try. Oh, why can't you be humorous again? Because it should never be funny to say
child.
To call a child names. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're a grown man, sort it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see what happens with England.
Yeah.
Moving on to Sheffield Wednesday. Some good news to start the podcast.
Ooh.
Good news? Are you ready? 25th episode, we brought you some good news. The players have been paid.
Huzzah!
The players have been paid. Alan Nixon has tweeted that the Wednesday players have been paid and have also, Jake, they've received their back pay. So they've not just received their current payment, they've received what they were owed.
Wow, even better for them. So have we turned a corner now on that? Because
we did hear this, to be fair. We did hear that they got paid before it was reported. Yeah.
If you look at what Hanover, is it 69? 96 or whatever they're called?
96. 69. That's what have you been looking at, sir? Is that a category again, Jake?
You know what I mean? Anyway, if you look at what they've been saying, they've been talking about how there's 6 players who are still about to breach it and leave the club due to not being paid on time. But I don't know how much of that is now them just trying to get Borna through the door. And a lot of people say, so why would he turn up to training if he's not been paid and stuff? A lot of them have been turning up to training when they've not been paid. 9 times 10, employment lawyers tell you to just carry on your job until we get to a point where we can take it to court. Or do something.
He's also said that the players aren't leaving now as well. Yeah. So I think it's just a good sign of a reset. You know, I will point something out. I don't really, even though we've defended Chansiri in the past, we've tried to just take the common sense view on things. Yep. I will say that yes, he is doing the things he should be doing. There is some people that are trying to make out oh, well, you can't knock Chansiri, he's doing this. I'm like, yes, but he's doing what he should be doing. And congrats to him for doing what he should be doing. Don't get me wrong.
But he shouldn't have got to this in the first place.
Yeah. Don't have Stockholm syndrome to the point where you're like, oh yeah, you do the smallest thing. Do you know what I mean? But I will say, he's not talking. He talked. He said he was sorry. He's working on stuff. He's doing what he should do. I am in the camp of give him a chance with it. But
I'm also in the camp that I think he's taken stock as it time to be a behind the scene owner.
Yeah, it does feel like that, doesn't
people it? And it seems like he's already doing the right thing with getting people other than people he's had in the past to help run it. And so we don't know if there's someone else there, but the fact that last week we had the whole situation about Paxi. I said that really badly.
Well, did we go for Pajau?
Is
that what we decided on?
Yeah. Saying that he's now no middleman, it's now more and to chairman. So that's the progress. And I'd rather him be a behind the scene owner and we learn about it. And stuff. It screamed very much of the Venkeys at Blackburn when they first took over, where they were front and centre. Now they're just behind the scene funding it. It's fine. So maybe turn the corner. We'll see.
Well, we will see. What we will say, though, there is still some drama in this players paid thing. Jake, can you believe it? Can you believe there's still some drama?
I feel like you should be playing EastEnders music now.
Because I should get the piano next to me, shouldn't I? I should do segments. He literally tweeted, however, I've put, however, the players may not that have left Wednesday, Westwood you likes, they might, literally Nixon said, with emojis, with the eye emojis, they might not have been so lucky in regards to being paid. So the players that left might not have received their back pay.
Chansiri, they're getting ready for small claim court.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? It would be. I will say, I'm glad we're getting our house in order first.
Yes.
Before paying the players because we're in a situation.
You pay Jordan Rose before you play Huddersfield when we got that game.
Here's the thing: where's the repercussion? Right, there is repercussions. Don't get me wrong, but where's the immediate repercussions of not paying your players that are currently with you? Well, we saw that come out. I did a whole video on it. It was a case of the players could walk for nothing because they weren't being paid. The repercussions of not paying players that have already left and their contracts have expired by the time you're watching this podcast is they've gone.
They've left.
They've gone.
Today,
thing. They've already gone anyway.
Which went to the 30th. Officially, they are all gone today because tomorrow's the 1st and they can all sign to new clubs and all that thing. The only two that I've seen who have got new clubs so far is Matt Penny just signed for Ipswich on a 2-year deal. Good luck to him. A lot of people were saying similar thing to me. I'd like to have seen him in a Wednesday shirt still. But I think for him as a player, it's time for him to have a new challenge, a new chapter.
Everybody, right, I'm going to take the other side of that. Everybody calling him a good left back. He's not a good left back.
He's not.
He's a good left midfielder.
It's
doing me head in going, why we haven't got fullbacks, so why have we let Matt Panic? He's not a good fullback.
No, he's a left midfielder.
And I'm sick of seeing Wednesday fans saying it now he's gone. Right? Have you watched him?
I got asked by another podcast, an Ipswich one, and I basically turned around and said, people have been telling that he's a left back. He's not. He's a left side of attacking midfielder. That's way better. He's defending. He can do it, but he's not the best. He
doesn't cross well.
No.
The crosses go out of play. Yeah. We're saying that a lot last season. He loses the ball a little bit too much. Defensively, his position is left back. But if you play him as a left back, especially at Championship level, you're going to concede goals. I reckon he'll go on and do a job for it.
I'll tell you something,
if they utilise him.
Paul Cook will make him a world beat and we'll be like, oh, for God's sake, we've let another one go.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll eat all the humble pie. But, yeah, in terms of the players that have been paid and all that.
Good sign so far.
I think, yeah, and I think we've got to remember we're about to see a massive shift of the wages, the financial. Yes, the players will get their back pay because the club don't have to worry about paying them consistently now. We're about to have a huge cut off our wage bill. We're also about to have a huge cut off our revenues.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, but like the wage bill has shrunk massively.
But also July, I think July's now going to be a big month for Wednesday. Now that's done, because I think you're going to see things start happening with players coming in. By all sounds of it, it sounds like we're not selling anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
we can't sell anyone, mate. We ain't got any players. Because we're doing something later in the community topic.
So the videos I've been watching with Wednesday, they're just the AI.
Well, we've got those players. But we ain't got a lot of players.
No.
And we haven't got players in the positions we need positions in. We'll talk about them a little later on. But players getting paid, good start. I appreciate us doing the bare minimum that a football club should be doing. For Christ's sake. Right. Moving on. So, Render, Dawodu, and Hagen signed new deals.
Yep.
We've got 3 academy products that have signed new deals. There was obviously some speculation about players not being paid. Will we even keep our academy lads? We haven't really seen much from these. Do you want to add anything to it?
Just nice to have them signed up. I think Hagen's, out of all of them, is the one that's probably going to get more 13 football than any of them. He's a unit. He's a real unit. And if he can perform in League One, if he's doing well and he's in the first team by November, please put a brand new deal in front of him ASAP. I do not want another player going for peanuts because they're only year contracts.
Hagen's a striker, isn't he? Because
yes.
I was looking at our first team players. Because the website gets updated, so if you like, just Google Sheffield Wednesday first team players. This is where it becomes not amazing reading, like when you actually go on the website and you look at first team profiles, because goalkeepers, we got Dawson, Wildsmith, Render, Jackson. Defenders, we've still got the interesting ones. We've still got Iragidi on there. But we don't have, obviously. Did we release defenders this season? My brain's just gone.
Tom Lees?
Yeah, Penny and that's not on there. Tom Lees is not on there. Yeah, that thank you. Burner's on there. Iragidi's on there. So the one thing about Iragidi is obviously he's not signed a new contract. And apparently he doesn't want to sign a new contract, and he's going somewhere in England.
Sounding like he's going to Leeds. I have seen a lot of talk that he's going to Leeds, and he's rejected a lot of going to see overboard. Yeah. Overseas, that really was bad. He's rejected going to some very big club to stay in England, so it'll be interesting to see where he does go.
If he goes to Leeds, that's like you're talking about the club that gave you the loyalty and you break back into football and you're going to one of their rivals. Come on, mate.
Yeah, but they're not really a rival to us at the minute, are they? Really?
I mean, I keep saying you should come on Talking Wednesday because you've got a YouTube channel, but don't go to Leeds. Christ. Right, yeah, in our midfield. Oh,
what happened?
hang on. I've just made my my camera full screen, and I don't know how I've done it. How have I done that? Okay, boomer. Right, I'm still I'm still recording. I don't know what just happened. If there's no camera for this episode, that's why. Yeah, so midfield is Hutchinson, Bannon, Green, Delibashiru, Luongo, Hunt, and Waldock. The forwards, Patterson, Hagen, Windass, and Adeoyin.
Jeez.
Adeoyin.
Say that again.
Adeoyin? I think it's Adeoyin. I was always saying Adeoyin, but it's spelled Adeoyin. Or Adeoyin. There's not a big squad there, so the fact that we've got like Render, and that's, by the way, that's first team.
Yes.
That's first team profiles. So all those youngsters be like, oh, they're our academy. They're now first team.
Yeah.
And we've also got academy players that have received pro contracts. So this is from the club website. 5 hours from the club's academy have penned maiden professional contracts at Hillsborough. Scholars Jay Glover, Will Truman, Basil Zotos, who I had actually I took over Worksop Town once on Football Manager, and I had Zotos on loan.
Oh, did you?
And I took them all the way through the leagues, yeah. Paulo Aguas and Alex Bonington have all signed new deals as first-year professionals. The Wednesday youngsters will now make the step up to under 23 level after impressing all throughout their 2-year scholarship at the club. The youth products are no strangers to under 23 already, with all 5 having featured on occasion for Lee Bullen's squad last season, making a combined 27 appearances.
And can I also add to that, because just remember, Danny Camiatri's son has just signed a new deal.
You've just gone way over my head. What?
You know, Camiatri, Danny Camiatri, I can't say name. Bailey, Sheffield United striker.
I remember the story now you said that. Yeah, yes. That's fine. Yeah,
he just signed a new contract at the club. So it looks like he'll go get put into the more into under 16s, under 18s.
Be interesting to see what happens there.
Yep.
Just good to see that we're using our youth a little bit more.
And I believe one of these won an award from the EFL. I think it was Will Truman won it. I can't remember.
Was it for his show?
Oh.
It's our 25th episode. I'm making many puns. Oh. I know I'm not a father, but these are some dad jokes, right?
They really are.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah,
right.
Very much so.
You've brought this one to us. So Jake's been doing a bit of scouting my style. So we're going to talk about Paul Mullin today. You might be going, who's that? Here's Jake to tell you a little bit more.
So Paul Mullin is set to leave Cambridge United due to rejecting a contract. He paid tribute to the club, thanking them all and saying they had a great campaign, and he wished he was staying. The 26-year-old...
This is from Cambridge News.
Yeah. The 26-year-old played a pivotal role for United, with his goals helping the U's secure promotion to League One. Mullin secured a number of personal accolades through the campaign, notably being named League Two Top Player of the Season award. The striker had a record-breaking season for the U with the most goals in a single Football League campaign for the club. He also broke the League Two goal-scoring record with 32 league strikes. However, the contract confirmed that the forwards have rejected a contract and will be not signed to the campaign. But the only snag in this is that Rotherham are sniffing around for him. Paul Warren is very much trying to get a deal for him. But this is the kind of player we should be going to look at. A 26-year-old who scored 32 league strikes, 34 in all competitions. That's the kind of player I want us to try and go get. He's a goal scorer.
Yeah, so a little bit more information. So he got the Golden Boot last season, obviously. He's 26. He's... Charlton are apparently, as of today, Charlton are apparently in pole position to sign him. Yeah, so there's competition. If it's League One, though, like, we need a striker, guys.
Yeah.
He loves 4-2-3-1 more.
He's also will be a free
agent.
Play
Windass as a cam and put him behind Mullin.
He's a free agent, so I think under the rules of the embargo, we could get him.
But
these are the kind of things that we need to
He
be
signed
looking
his
out
first
for.
professional contract with Huddersfield as well. So there's an area thing there.
Yeah.
Where's he from? It's from Merseyside, so he's from Litherland. Originally. And so his youth career was Everton and Liverpool.
Yeah.
Then he signed a pro contract for Huddersfield, never played for them. Went to Vauxhall Motors on loan. Then he went to Morecambe, 122 appearances, 25 goals. Then to Swindon. A bit different. He went to Swindon, 40 appearances, 6 goals. Then he went to Tranmere until 2020, actually. 37 appearances, 8 goals. Then he went on loan to Cambridge.
He really kicked off then in the Cambridge campaign. It seems like he's coming to form. Well,
he's 26, so he's coming into his football prime. So you could say this is an abnormal season for him because he's never had these sort of goals, you know.
Yeah.
But 32 goals in 46 appearances is a little bit mental.
Yeah. And there's a Cambridge who will come up.
If that can translate to 18, 20 goals in League One,
yeah,
that'd be decent.
But this is also Cambridge who will come up and they can't get a deal in front of him.
That's why you've got to think there's got to be a draw for a club like Wednesday. Now, if we're paying our players now, you know, if it's on the table and we can get the embargo lifted and that's the thing.
Is that an asterisk on the contract?
There's a lot of
Is that an asterisk on the contract where you sign it?
Yeah. I'll sign it if, literally, but there's an asterisk. I must be paid, please. I would like the basic right of a contract to be paid my wages. Hang on.
What's up?
2 Paul Mullins exist as well.
Is there?
Yeah, there's one that was a footballer as well.
Oh, right.
Called
Paul Mullins.
This one's Paul Bernard Mullin, actually. Oh. He's 47 now. Played for Accrington Stanley. And finished his career at Morecambe. I don't know, we got an away day this year. Oh, God.
Oh.
But yeah, so rejected a contract. Clearly wants to move on to bigger things. We can't see... The thing is, Rotherham, I'm not too worried about. Charlton, I'm not too worried about. If we were in for them... Don't get me wrong, people will come back to this video because they do for some weird reason a month later, and I'm like, you do really know this is probably not our thoughts on them now once we've heard about links with other clubs. But if we are in for them, I can't see us having too much of an issue.
Also,
however, there is a chance that we can be linked and still not put a bid in because Wednesday's been doing that recently.
If you look at what Moore's done in the past, especially when he was at Rovers, he was very much kept the card to chest, didn't let anything slip. Like we have heard that there was another striker we were after who, I think it was Jordan Graham, who said there was interest from us and it just didn't materialise. Darren Moore's a very savvy person when it comes to signings. If you look what he's done in the past. So be prepared to have the old player who you look and go, who the hell are they? And then you've got to go look at what their youth level stuff is.
You've got to trust in Darren Moore.
Yeah.
Especially if he's going to bring us in a 61 rated bronze Paul Mullin on FIFA. I've got to do the FIFA thing. 61 pace, 63 shooting, 53 passing, 61 dribbling, 37 defending, and 60 physical. Wow. What a machine.
Hey, he may get a bump up next season.
Oh my God, he's got an 85 card. What was that for? He got team of the season.
Oh, there you go.
So he got team of the season. He got an actual usable card. So he might be around a 65, 66 next year. They might give him a decent upgrade with those goals.
Yep.
Okay, to be honest, though, 2 years ago, he was a 56 rated. So he's come a long way. He's come a long way. Paul Mullin, though, I can't argue with that goal scoring record, mate. If we can find him the service, especially with the likes of Bannon and them through balls, he doesn't even have to be the fastest. Put Windass behind him, you're golden. Windass, Bannon behind him.
Wednesday, just start looking down the back of the sofa for some cash.
Yeah, unfortunately, we'll have to probably use a bit of money on that one.
Yeah.
We're not amazing at that recently. Long gone are the days of the Chancery gish with all the cash. But hopefully we can bring in a player.
We'll see.
You know, we've not brought in one yet. Remember, we've got an embargo, so it'd be nice.
Yeah, that might be. You done your accounts yet, Chancery?
Let's not start with that one because we both know it hasn't happened. Okay, so we both got tagged in a tweet recently. I don't usually do this because there's a place for putting your topics. It's called the community tab that you subscribe to Dexterity Box, and it's there, and I put the topics for there, and they get read out. However, I do interact with, I think I've seen this guy a lot, CC1867 on Twitter. He tagged us in a tweet where he tagged a lot of journalists. He tagged the club and everything. Sheffield Wednesday, please put in a bid for Ronan Curtis from Portsmouth. I jokingly responded. I'll tell you what, we'll mention it on the pod and we'll get out straight on it. Because if you're new here, Chancery's son has seen the occasional video apparently. So we know he's seen one at least. So we used to joke that it had an influence on the signing, so we said we'll get right on it. However, the small stumbling block would be we'd have to pay for this lad.
Yes.
But I thought it was interesting. Because I got the tweet, I thought let's look into him and see if it'd be viable. And what made it viable and what made it something I wanted to put into the podcast as a maybe was the fact that we're crying out for wingers, and he's a winger. Yeah. And he's a winger that can play striker. So he's 25 from Portsmouth. The fans say he's got a bad attitude, but Wigan fans said that about Windass, and Windass seems to be all right with us. So, and I think under Moore, Moore seems to be a manager that can straighten players out because he stopped Windass being selfish, which is what he always used to get stick for. So if Moore can bring that, that's good. The one thing is, I don't know necessarily where he's been played. I think he's been played more as a winger. He's had 10 goals in 42 appearances last season in League One, 14 in 49 if you're looking at overall. Yeah. Apparently Blackburn are interested, but no official bid has been made for them as of yet. Ronan Curtis, I just thought I'd throw it in there.
I was talking to a Pompey fan,
right,
and he said to me that if he, in the first 10 minutes of the game, if he has a poor bit or he starts mouthing off, you've lost him for the entire game. You might as well play with 10 men. He's also got a lifetime ban on pub watch in Portsmouth. He's not allowed to drink in any of their pubs because him and two other players, I think he said they got done for assault, and he's the club captain leading us by example. It sounds a bit Gary Medini.
Yeah, well, we like a project.
Yeah.
You know, Wednesday do have a history.
To which the Portsmouth fan, how long do you reckon he will be for you get pub banned in Sheffield? I said there's a lot of pubs, so.
Oh, I've just realised something.
What?
I've got green leaves on this shirt.
Oh no!
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that is not good.
If you're not understanding why this is a problem,
it look like I'm painting and decorating now.
Green, he's basically going to have the issue when he goes to.
Oh, I look like I'm going for some sort of operation.
It's going to show on the background like his shirt's got like little bits of invisible parts.
Oh no!
It's why I hate it when Sheffield Wednesday get green kit because I can't wear them.
Oh no! I look like I'm going in for an operation. Oh no, I wasn't stripping on camera. You weren't getting that from me. But yeah, hopefully I'll appear now.
It'll be a very short procedure, Dexterity Box.
Oh mate, we're like 45 minutes into this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh god. Happy 25th episode, guys. Ronan Curtis, back on topic. Would you take him? Would you take him from what you've heard and what you've been discussing?
No. I don't want players with bad attitude, even if Darren Moore could change them. from what I've heard, he doesn't sound... He's a good, exciting player to watch, but if that's his attitude, it's going to take a lot for Darren Moore to change that.
Yeah, I understand.
And we'll be paying money for him.
Wednesday don't do that, apart unless it's John Bostock, apparently. So Wednesday don't actually want to pay.
What, he's not a free transfer?
Apparently not.
Oh, right, okay.
So they won't be interested. But no, I thought we'd mention it. We do listen to our community.
Yeah.
But this would require money. And we aren't spending much of that at the minute.
Could change in July if we know if anything happens. Right?
One reason we might not be spending money is because we have noticed that Elevate have not submitted their accounts either.
No.
Which, if you don't know, Elevate is Deshfon Chansiri's other company, which made all our kits. So,
and energy drinks, I think, as well.
Yeah, looking on their accounts, they've not published accounts since the 2019 season either. So they have not had accounts in for 3 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
Worrying.
Well, go on. Your initial fears with this, Jake. You might as well talk about them.
My fear with this is, if you look at, and we're going to get onto the new kit maker in a minute. We've got new kit makers in. Yes, it's great to bring in more revenue. If you look at what's been said, it's something like $1 million we'll get in revenue for it. But is this Chansiri cutting tie with the club with getting rid of the kit makers? Because that was the whole kind of thing. He was funding the kits, and then it was going to bring more money back to the club, or it's going to bring more money back to him to put back into the club. Is this him trying to set up a sale or set up a way of distancing himself? It goes back to that being a more behind-the-scenes chairman. If he's just going to have Wednesday to deal with, then he's got Wednesday to do. If he's still got to be doing the kits and stuff, it's a bit murky, you know what I mean? It comes at a really weird time that we've suddenly just been announced that we've got new kit makers. And if you go onto the Elevate website for their commercial stuff, that got a 50% sale on, and the club website got a 70% sale.
It doesn't, even though we talked about the players getting paid and stuff, it doesn't look good financially, does it? It looks when the other companies are there. But maybe he's trying to wind this in a little bit.
Also, can we also say the 2 employees?
Yeah, I noticed that when I was going through the accounts. I was like, there's 2 employees. That's not great, is it? No. So, do you know what else is not great? You know, I get the Jesus comment a lot.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Mate, your background today got to be you opening the opening the Red Sea.
Oh, that was Moses. You got to get the Bible right, mate.
Yeah, you can still do it.
You read. Oh, no, I can't say that because I'll have some Bible bashers on me. I was going to say something, not going to say it. Right. I also look like a vicar. There's many things we can do with this. What is happening today?
If you thought the 25th one was going to go a bit special, you're right.
We are the special ones. Right, so what do we want from Macron? So Macron have been announced as Wednesday's kit sponsor. We mentioned it last week. I'm going to put a photo up on screen now. This is what I want from Macron.
I like this kit. I do like it.
If we're going to go from a Macron style, off the peg shirt, this, black shorts.
If you're a audio watcher, I have got Napoli's camo Macron shirt. I went to have a look to see if I got one. What I will say is they fit very nicely. Their sponsorship at times is questionable if it goes in the wash, but I think that's with most kits, to be fair. Most kit makers have an issue when they have, like, if it's an iron-on sponsor especially, or kind of thing. I think some of the old Chansiri, when Chansiri originally sponsored the club when he first took over, some of those started to peel badly. It's a sign of maybe Chansiri's listening, because if we get the kit prices right here, because a lot of people were going, the kits are 63 to 65 euros on their website, but they currently do Grimsby Town kits, they do Nottingham Forest kits, and they do Stoke. Now, Nottingham Forest and Stokes are 48 quid a shirt, and Forest is 50 quid a shirt. That's a lot better than the 63 we've been paying. And this is actually a proper kit maker. This isn't something that Chansiri found in Australia. I think that's where one of the places that were making them were at one point, and we're going to have problems getting the kits out to us. This is an actual company that does this. There's Italy, Wales. The list goes on when you look.
I really like the training gear they brought out as well.
Yes, it looks nice.
It does. It looks like it fits well.
Yeah, this is the thing where if you hear what's been said, this is going to be about $1 million in revenue for us. Which, what is revenue? Because I don't think we've ever had that at the club at times. Because we haven't been bad at that side of the club. And it also shows the commercial director is being allowed to do things.
I actually kind of like...
Director.
I kind of like the way we've gone here, because people are calling for Puma back, and that would have really upset me. Right? I know Puma have made some good kits, but they're off the peg kits are crap. Yeah. If when you've not got a standalone thing, they're not what they used to be. People wanted Nike. Obviously, that's good money, but Nike, we get blank. Going Macron for me is still a way to get quite a unique kit.
I would have liked to go this way or Umbro.
Everybody wants Umbro back, though, don't they?
I think the thing is, the only thing I've seen that I haven't liked about the kit, I've seen Stoke City's away kit, and I hate that. So
I don't like Stoke City's home kit, because I don't want a blue and white version of that. For me, get this kit, this Real Sociedad kit. Maybe put some more black outlines on it.
Well, there's also talk that there's going to be a new sponsorship on the shirts. That's not going to be Chancery.
Well, we need money, don't we?
And there has been talk of possibly old badge returning.
I've just seen in that as Twitter speculation, though. It would be a good way to get fans back on side. But what era of old badge? Because you bring the old badge back in terms of like the most recent old badge, it had that horrific shield behind it.
Yeah.
And actually, I say that was my owl.
Yeah.
As a kid growing up, that was the one with the shield.
The 90s owl.
Just the owl.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
There is talk of it possibly coming back.
I don't hate the new one, by the way. I don't hate the new old one. I don't hate it, but I do like the owl.
I love how I say I don't hate the one we've got now, and like, okay, this is the new one. Well, it's not. It's an old one that's now a new one, which had been an old one, which is a new one to us.
Chancery, you can license the Talking Wednesday owl for $1 million a year if you want. We'll call it some sort of, I don't know. Because we created our own owl. Yeah. We've got our own owl. No, I think he should. I do like the 90s owl.
But like I said, it shows you that this chief, Liam Dooley, is actually being allowed to do stuff.
This is Operation Damage Control, mate.
Yeah,
Get the fans
it is.
back on side.
Yeah.
And some fans will not be happy no matter what you do. No. But I think what's got to be realised is fans like us, like me, are trying to be as level-headed as possible. Even I, towards the end of the season, was like, right, enough's enough now. We've got to.
Yeah. We had that episode where for us, we went in a bit heavy, and we never used to go in heavy, but we had the whole thing going. It's not working. We had a point where we had commenters going, "Why are you always slagging off Chancery?" I was like, "Right, we've been doing it for like a week, and we're not really slagging him off." Yeah, we're just being honest. For me, if this is damage control, brilliant. And a lot of people said, "Don't read this as like good positive," but it got to be shown a positive with what's going on with Wednesday at the minute. Any little bit of positive news, everyone is going to cling to. Like this week had been a very positive week. Last Saturday with all the stuff. People go, oh, they're only youth team play. Yes, but the players that are still wanting to stay. They've obviously seen something with Darren Moore and Lee Mullin that they want to stay. We've managed to convince them to stay in the academy at least. So, yes, it's damage control. Yes. As long as we get the kit pricing right, it'll win them over. Because he's already started to do it with the season tickets. We haven't seen how much tickets are going to be for next season yet, which will be interesting. But match day tickets, as in, I know what you mean. Yeah, but having a kit maker who people have heard of, and let's see what it looks like. We're going to find out in the middle of July because they're going to start coming out soon. I know I can't go to every Saturday game this year, which is upsetting. I can't go to everyone. What we'll do for the channel is, do they still do playbacks? Yeah, I think so.
We'll have to find a way because I still want to analyse every game. But like, there's going to be some matches I can't actually go on the Saturdays. But that's just adulthood taking its.
And to be fair, that's the same with me and mine. Mine's a mixture of adulthood, mixture of health. If people don't know, I have something called functional neurological disorder, and it basically just makes me have lots of like epileptic fits. It's horrible. Don't wish it on anyone. I'm
still going to go to like half of the games because I refuse not to go to like half of the games. But I never don't. But like I don't. It's gonna be it's. Are
we going to a home game with our big P shirts on?
Yes. Part of me kind of wants to like.
Oh, actually, on that, I have heard that the club want to try and put Owls in the Park on in September, if the government allows it.
Oh, amazing! We can have the same 4 bands play it over and over and over again. Right. So we're gonna go into our community section now.
Yep.
So I've gone back in and taken some from a couple of weeks ago, also the new ones, because I said we're doing it tomorrow. Can somebody post? 4 people posted. Thanks for that, guys. Wake up. I know it's coming home, but Jesus, it might not be now.
They might be hungover. Leave them alone.
So the first comment is from Maxwell Grimes saying, best 11 with current personnel, along with Moore's favoured 4-2-3-1. Totally hypothetical. You have done this, right? Jake! I literally said before the podcast.
You dropped then.
Did I drop? I'm here. Did you hear me? I thought you were saying, have you done this? Have you done this 4-2-3-1?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done it.
Yeah, it's all done. Yeah.
I literally said, make sure you've done it because I don't want us to stop in the podcast because that's editing for me. Right, you can go first then. So 4-2-3-1.
It is Dawson, Palmer, Iorfa, Hutch, Patterson. Back there. Lungo, Bashwaru, Green, Barron, Adioni, and Windass up top.
What the actual?
No! Shut off!
Right, I'm dropping a photo into our Google Doc now so you know I'm not messing about with you either, right?
Hang on,
okay, Boomer, how do I upload this?
Near the hyperlink. There's a...
Yeah. Let me show you what I have done for this, because I've done a little graph that will be up on screen. I've done the formation. That's what I made.
Hang on. No way!
I think we've probably put Bannon. I think the way you read it to me, you've put Bannon as the cam.
Yeah.
So I put Dawson, Palmer left back, Hutchinson, Iorfa centre backs, Big P right back. Oh, mate, we're in sync. Bannon and Luongo is the holding midfielders, but I want them to play kind of like Phillips did, have one of them going forward and linking up play a little bit more. Cam's an interesting one for me because I don't think naturally Dele Bashiru is probably a cam. I think he's more of that central midfield role and he'll be competing with Bannon and Luongo. I actually think Windass is more of a cam if we were to look for cams. We don't really have a cam, right? Maybe Alex Hunt's going to try and develop into a cam.
I really want Alex Hunt to kick on. I really want him to be there. But also, actually, if you take Dele Bashiru out, you put Windass as the cam and you play Charles Hagan as the striker.
Dele Bashiru.
Bashiru.
You always say Bashwayu.
I don't know.
Where the hell are you getting the Y from?
My brain.
This is the thing is though, this formation here, this is what highlights our weakness on the wings for me. Green, great. I think Green could turn into a player. But we don't really know about Adeoyin.
No.
Right? And we need wingers. So the wingers we've been mentioning for me is like, we need a striker and a winger.
Well,
and a fullback.
But could you have it if, say, Charles Hagan has a good thing, because Windass play that cam and then Charles Hagan up top? I know he's a young player, but Darren Moore like to use young players.
I can't say, mate, because I haven't seen enough of them. That's the thing. Like, it's easy to say that with the academy, but I have not. Honestly, I've not seen enough of them. So I get the way this could be moved for me. Like, I don't necessarily like this formation with the players we've got.
No.
Right? But Moore's going to Moore and he can do what he wants, okay?
I'm just shocked that it's pretty similar, both our picks.
I could see if we brought in a fullback, I'd accept Patterson going as a cam because he didn't do badly there, right? He wasn't bad there. I think he's naturally a defender, right?
Yeah.
But I think I wouldn't mind seeing him at cam. But we've got no fullbacks.
The only thing I could see us doing, potentially at some point, if, say, we don't know what Massa's injury is going to be like, and Iorfa, but say if Matt gets another injury, put Iorfa there and you put Dunkley in his place and play him next to Bannon.
I disagree with that formation. I disagree with that. If it's this formation, I think you put, if Luongo gets an injury, I think you put.
I think that only works if you got him in front of the defence on his own.
I'm really worried about striker, winger, and fullback this year. Obviously, keeper's a thing as well, but we've got a new goalkeeping coach, so I'm going to reserve judgment for now.
And to be fair, what I've seen today on the training on Wednesday, he's looking like he's putting them through the paces.
Mm-hmm. For me, we don't have a natural cam.
No.
We don't have a natural creative midfield. I could see in League One Bannon doing it, but he likes to get involved too much. He likes to come back too often.
Quick one. Do you keep Bannon as your captain?
Yes.
And Hutch as vice?
Yes.
Mm.
Have you seen Hutch's haircut?
Yes. Who hasn't? You can see that from base.
Yeah, he's done the Gaza. Or is it the Foden now?
It's the Gaza for my age.
Yeah, I'm joking. It is the Gaza. I'm really excited to see what Lee Green can do. I think that left-hand side of Palmer and Green would be quite strong. But then again, Palmer was playing on the right for parts this season.
He was
as well. You know, he's not. I think he was a right back or is a right back, and we've moved him around because he's just a fullback. But where he was most
effective, he basically Big P.
Actually, if I think about how good he was,
Little P.
He was all right. He was most effective from right back, from coming forward and making them runs and whipping it in with his right.
He showed at the end of last season he learned how to cross the ball. And that's
so I think maybe we need a fullback and put Palmer on the right instead. Bring a left back in. I know we were looking for a left back.
We still need left backs.
We still need a left back. Yeah,
it's where I would have taken the risk with Penny to give him another season with us, but I have a funny feeling the whole Matt Penny thing was a mixture. You've been here since you were a kid. You need to have a push on in your career.
Again, though, I wouldn't have seen him at left back, mate. I wouldn't have had him
there. Maybe that's why the reason Moore's done it, because he doesn't see him there. If you got Green, you're not going to play him as a winger, are you?
Looking at this again and thinking about it, though, I think Iorfa wants to be a centre-back now. That's where he's very good. But you could, if we had to use the players that were here and weren't looking at bringing in people, if you were to take Dele Bashiru out of this team, you could put Big P as cam. You could put Iorfa at right back because he can play right back and he was a right back.
Yeah.
And you could put Dunkley in next to Hutchinson.
Yeah.
So there is options there. You know, there is options with the
where
players
Patterson having that utility role person kind of helps because he'll play anywhere. But Palmer's also a little bit like that. He can play anywhere. You whack him and he'll just do it.
I like that though.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm just blown away how bang on both our boss.
That's so weird how close they were to each other. Yeah, they were. But yeah, that's where our teams sit currently. You've got a nice graphic for mine. Next community topic is from Luke Rayalp or Rayalp. Deshfon in. I think this is a short one, but currently he's doing the right thing, so we'll give him a chance.
Yeah, let him try and fix his mistakes if he can.
Yep, we've said that for a while. Yep. He's got to be given a chance to fix it. So this comes from your channel. Yep. Again, I'll make an exception, but we do have a community tab over on the Dexterity Box channel.
We do.
This was asked to be talked about on the podcast. We brought it across. It's from Sheila.
It's a transfer from Punk Chef 41 to Dexterity Box.
It is, yes. But subscribe to Dexterity. All right. If you're at the community topic, you're probably already subscribed. But if you haven't for whatever reason and you watch these videos, just click the button. Thank you. This is an interesting one, right?
I like this idea as well.
Interesting. We might be split on this then. So the question is, do we need players' names on the back of shirts? It's a team game, not an individual game.
So for me, I like the idea of just having the numbers and trying to have that involved in that whole kind of we're all one team. But the player names has always been on the back of the shirt for commercial reasons. It never, because they make money from a kid getting their favourite player on the back, cost money. Come on, how much did it cost to get Big P on? It makes money.
Too much.
Yeah, exactly.
I disagree, mate. I think shirts look weird. It always feels like pre-season. I know it's because it's the way it's always been. It's one of those things, but it feels like pre-season to me when it's just numbers. It feels not professional. I feel like even players like now grow up and dream of seeing that shirt with their name on it in the dressing room.
But it's always been the case that if you ever look at anything with names on shirts, you get that name to sell shirts. You know, it goes back to like the FIFA kind of thing and the Football Manager. They always say you need to have this many shirt sales from this person. The bigger the player, the higher the shirt sales. You know what I mean?
I get it. I think it should be. I don't think it needs to be changed. Personally, I like the idea of it being raised. Yeah, it is a team game. I see that side of it. But for me, it's... To
be fair, I like it as a talking point because it's something you don't really think about.
No, I can't say I've ever really thought about it.
No, neither have I.
But yeah, for me, we'll keep it as it is, as far as I'm concerned. Right, the next one is from Steve Mr. Bounce White. This was 2 weeks ago as well, so I did say I store the topics. If we need them for an episode for 25th, I wanted to include a few more. Yep. People have been a bit quiet these past couple of weeks, so I've included a few more. Now that we've missed out on Reece James, out of the 5 mentioned as alternatives, who would you like to see come in? You both have to choose one definite and one backup, right? So he's given us a list of 5 here. Callum McFadden, or Fadsdian.
Yep.
Fadsdian. McFadden. Joe Bennett, Akraf Lazar, Marvin Johnson, and Max Clark.
Well, Max Clark's gone.
Yeah, I think most of these have, but let's just do it anyway. For me, the definite I'd like to see is Lazar in backup in case we miss out on Lazar. It's Max Clark. So let's start. Who would your 2 be if you looked at that?
Joe Bennett and Lazar.
Why Joe Bennett?
I think he's quite quality. I like what I've seen when he's been at Cardiff, and he's just solid.
He played for us.
I know he did.
I know he did. 3 appearances.
We tried to sign him and then we couldn't.
He's 31 now though, mate.
I have actually on this one. I have put in some left backs who we could bring in if you want to hear who I've come up with after yours.
We might do another topic. We might do another topic one day, next week or something, and we'll do it. It's quiet news weeks at the minute. We need to make sure we've got stuff for a week. So Lazar, yeah, he was released, wasn't he? So Lazar's still a free. They've got the option to extend it, but no, I don't think he'd come down to League One. Also, I don't think we can take a risk on his injury record, to be quite honest, in the situation we're in.
We don't have a physio at the minute, so no.
Do we not have a physio at
No,
all?
he's gone. The head physio and stuff, most of the team, stuff like that, we're very limited. We're actually got, if you're a physio and you want a job, there's vacations at Wembley. Go to a club website.
So, Marvin Johnson is one of them.
Where's he played?
He's played for the other side of the city.
That's why I recognise that.
So he is a free agent. Played mainly as a winger, but maybe he's a wing back as well. I think from this list, looking at the careers, it's not that attractive, is it? It's we're not being linked with the greatest, but Max Clark's gone.
Yep.
Where did he go? Oh, Hull.
Yeah.
Right, so he's gone to the Championship from Vitesse. Really? Okay.
Yeah. I think he'd been at Hull before, though.
Well, I'd probably...
None of them green great.
No. I'd probably go Joe Bennett as well for the experience.
Yeah.
And then I'd go I'd take a risk on McFadden.
He used to play for the other side, didn't he?
He did. He came through their academy.
Oh, he did.
But he played left-sided wing back for Sunderland. So yeah. It's not a great list, but if I had to pick two, I'd probably pick those two.
But it is a position we are desperately needing to fill.
It is. Our last topic for today comes from the community tab and from a member. Remember, if you want to become a member of this channel, just click the join button below. You can support us. Helps fund all the content. And this one is from Davey J UK. We've spoken to Davey before. He came on the community call-in episode. He says, what are your thoughts on Karamoko Dembele at Celtic as a possible signing? A few years ago, he was seen as, quote, the next big thing. And from what I can gather, Celtic have done well at protecting him from that label and kept him mainly in the reserves. A loan spell at Wednesday might do him some good. Now, I read this knowing that we've got a few Celtic watchers from the Liam Shaw stuff going, we could get a bit of grief for this if they're like, why would he come to you sort of thing. However, I'd like to see that side of it and see their opinion on it as well as Wednesday things in terms of a loan spell, because I don't think we could attract him fully in our current situation. However, he's 18.
Yep.
He only made 4 appearances last season, scoring 1 goal. Constantly talked about being gifted. He currently plays for the England under-18s. Again, he's a winger, and we currently need a winger. And the reason I think he could maybe come to us on loan, and this is not the widest of the mark from Davey, it'd be a stretch, but he was linked with Danish club FC Nordsjælland.
Be interesting to see if he plays in this pre-season. So could we have another look at him? To be fair, I always sign him on FIFA. He might go to FIFA
it's him.
Player. Yes,
it's him. Yes, it is. Yeah, he's got great potential.
I always sign him on FIFA.
Do you think he could be worth a loan?
Personally, I think a loan would be good. The only bit I've seen that worries me is that he's very light on the ball. He could get knocked off a bit in League One. But if he got the feed, doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters, because the thing is with League One, it's kind of I feel like Celtic owe us one. Right? For one. I mean, they might feel like we owe them one if Liam Shaw's form continues.
Also, you've got to remember, new manager there as well, so you may want to have a look at him and put him in the team.
Yeah, that'd be great. Obviously, you want to see young players doing well. But if he's up for a loan spell, I do think League One is that league where if you go to a club with a big fan base like Wednesday and you can play under it, it's an attractive proposition with the fans back in, because it's like, it's the biggest, that us and Sunderland in that league are the ones that you go, if you go to them, you're going to feel like you're playing the big time. You know, if you've not really done that before, it's the closest that a club like Celtic could send players out to get that experience and feel the pressure of a stadium like Hillsborough.
The only issue we've got with that, say if they suddenly white to them, they could turn into, well, to eat the pain, we'll give you Dembele. Because of talk of they're losing their striker to Celtic.
Right.
So, that kind of
stop
pushing the blow.
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're clicking something.
Sorry.
But yeah, I want to see us bring in players, Jake.
Yes,
We've not brought in any players. Yeah. And taking a chance on an 18-year-old is playing reserve football at Celtic.
Worth doing.
We wouldn't have entertained this really in the Championship, would we?
To be fair, Darren Moore did this a lot at Rovers. He brought in an 18-year-old striker. He brought in a 19-year-old winger. He brought in a 18-year-old centre mid, Taylor Richards, who apparently Moore still likes a lot and would like to bring him in if he could. But I don't know if that's not a position we need. This is what Darren Moore does do well. He does go to... And the thing is, what you're hearing is he's having this effect where a lot of clubs will see what Darren Moore's done with other players and go, he made him this much better. And he'll come back.
That's always a great thing as well.
And the thing is, one thing that Alex Ferguson used to say whenever he was looking to loan players out, he'd say, I try and loan them out to Wednesday because their fan base will get on them. If they make a mistake, they're going to know about it in 10 seconds flat.
Yeah, that's what I meant with the
That's why we got Chris Eagles that season.
I think also it's just if a manager's got a good reputation for that, I think if we'd have kept Bruce, he's the same sort of, people want to send him to a manager that they can trust to get something out of them, you know.
Yeah.
And I think Moore has got that reputation of working with the young players that it'll be.
He had 5 or 7.
Moore is our best asset at the minute.
Oh god, yeah.
In my opinion, because of his links with it, because we've got relegated. I think that's where we were saying. We said it at the time when we brought him on board. The foresight is this is a move for next season if we get relegated. This is a plan for Moore might keep us up. Amazing, give him a chance.
Yeah.
But it's likely we're going down. Bring somebody in who is going to get us the right sort of players, because you've got to think that the plans had already been in place for losing a lot of players.
Yeah.
A lot of players going off the wage bill for this coming season if we were relegated. Who's going to attract the young players? Who's going to have the good links with the club? Who's going to... Players that are going to take a risk on a club that's in a bit of a downfall like Wednesday are. What's going to actually get them to take that risk? A manager that they think they can go in and trust and get the best out of them.
And you've also now got this thing that it's now Darren Moore and the recruitment team, no middleman. There's none of that. Who do I go to? It'll be, I beat to Darren, I beat to the head of recruitment. That is it. It's none of that situation. And if you look at what Donny Rovers had, I think they had about 5 to 7 loan players last season. Now, one of the ones that did really well for them was Josh Sims, another winger. Did get liked by Darren Moore, but it looks like Plymouth are probably going to get him. And people go, Plymouth are going to get him and stuff. Oh, great, we're competing against Plymouth. Well, yeah, we are.
We can't spend any money at the minute. Currently, the
definitely a free agent. I did check that.
You did check that.
Yes, he definitely. Right, Southampton released him.
Well, Dembele's not, and he'd be a loan player. But remember, we did go up with Antonio as our loan player, you know, and then he became a Wednesday player. So you know, we could sign him next season. We'll loan him, and then we'll sign him, and then we'll sell him for nearly nothing to Nottingham Forest and think it's a good deal. That's what, and then he'll go on to be a Premier League superstar.
It sounds like he's already seen this happen once before.
I don't, you know.
Maybe you need a crystal ball behind you on this bit.
I mean, do you think we're still going to get Jamie Vardy? Do you think that's going to happen?
The only way we get that is when he does his testimonial for Leicester.
Didn't he do that with us in the pre-season last season?
Has he already done it?
Wasn't it something for Vardy that match or something? I don't know. Oh no, it was somebody else's testimonial thing. I don't know. But
also,
Dembele,
on the talk of before we move on to testimonial, there's a lot of players who deserve a testimonial at this club who are not said goodbye yet. Please do something. Even if you haven't paid them properly, let them come back and just get a goodbye.
Yeah, but wrapping up the Dembele topic,
I take it.
Take a chance. Yeah. If he's not on much, Celtic need him to go in and get experience, get a few lumps knocked out of him. I think it'd be a good loan move. But as you said, their manager will probably want to reassess his position. But there has been transfer links for him. So if we could bring him on loan, and the new manager thinks, you know what, he needs a season of development, I'm all for bringing young players that have got a bit of a prospect to them.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, the testimonial thing, mate. It's something that definitely should be done. Like players like Kieran Westwood.
Yeah.
Westwood was with us for.
Atty.
I don't think he made the 10 seasons.
Atty, a lot of people won't like that, but you deserved it. He was here for a long time.
Yeah, only 8 years though, I think.
Longer than most people we've had.
Yeah, I know, but isn't 10 years a testimonial?
True.
Yeah, Westwood was 2014. So.
Forget how long he was there for.
6.5, yeah.
Even if it's not a testimonial, just a way of fun.
Just a presentation or something, you know, like, knew who you was.
Here you go, rest of your money we owe you. A check.
Do you think Chancellor would be that generous? Oh, what?
What?
No!
What?
Knew you signed for another club.
Who's he gone to?
SC Rheindorf Altach.
Where the hell do they play?
I've just gone on Wikipedia and found the Austrian Bundesliga. He's gone back to Austria.
That makes sense. Oh well.
I'm going to cry. My dream is over. He's not returning. Mate. Why, Atty?
I like money.
Why, Atty? This isn't being reported anywhere. This is literally on Wikipedia. Do I have a scoop on my hands? Here? That I might put on Twitter? Or do a breakout right now and be like, beat you. We broke that Windass thing.
Yeah, we did.
The 5 mil asking price. I didn't even realise we were doing that as we did it.
I love how everyone turned around and said, we won't do that.
Yeah. Because we didn't think he's going to go for that. We just knew it was them pricing him out.
Yeah.
That's what Chansiri was asking. And we got a lot of questions on that. And when I realised that, oh, no, we were quite heads up on that when they started talking about it in the media, literally like the week later.
I remember the message coming through from you going, look.
I'm going to look into this a little bit more, but yes, he's gone to see SS.
Does that mean we can sign him in FIFA?
Maybe. We couldn't before, could we? So He's not in the... Let me have a look. I'm going to find it on Austrian site. It doesn't matter. That's going to wrap up this week's episode of the Talking Wednesday podcast. Anyway, episode 25. Absolutely awesome that we got to 25 episodes.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. I've looked like a priest for half of this now, and a bit of Jesus, a bit of a hospital patient, all rolled into one.
And then you get to be a bit invisible later.
Oh, and I'm going to have holes in me. I'm going to actually have holes in me. It's going to be great. I'll have to try and find a background that doesn't show it too much. But anything to wrap up with, Punk?
Just enjoy the sunshine at the minute because it's really nice. And remember, we haven't got signings in yet. There's a lot of clubs that are not done signing. And the transfer window shuts on the 31st of August this year. So a lot of time to get players in.
Indeed. We'll see what happens, and we'll be here next week, hopefully. Yeah. I mean, if England are through to the semis, there might be a lot of scheduling issues. Because,
we'll figure it out.
I wonder how many people threw a sickie today.
A lot.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us this week. We'll see you in the next episode of Talking Wednesday.
See ya.